Hello there, and welcome to the 12th episode of Strategic Zoomcast. And it looks likely to be a good one because it's Jove as Wehrmacht on Samoski Winter versus ASSBAG, the MVP of the recent FlexiTime Championships 4 as the US Forces. Now, Jove is top... No, he is top of 3 separate ladders. He is number 1 as 3 separate factions, which you must say is highly impressive. Not Wehrmacht, he's only in the top 3 for Wehrmacht, because DevM still happens to be top number 1, but still pretty damn good, you've got to say. Now, this is going to be a great game. How do I know it's going to be a great game? Because neither of these players uploaded it. It was uploaded by somebody who was watching it in observer mode and thought, you know what, I can save this replay and upload it to co2.org's replay section, and we thank them. The casters thank these people for their services, because if a player uploads it, it's highly likely that they won. On once in a blue moon, if the stars align in a certain direction and everything is right, a player will upload a loss, and that is very rare indeed. You'll find in the top left of my screen, because I haven't quite got 2 NVIDIA and 980s running in SLI or what have you, I only get 30 FPS per cast, which is alright actually for Company Heroes 2. I've got that there now, so I'm going to use this cast to try and get a feel for what I should be recording and saving my files as if I render. So I reckon 30 FPS dipping to about 28 during action sequences will be about right, and that's probably about right, to be fair. Company Heroes 2, it's like a console game. Unless you've got like the most monstrific setup ever, you know, you can barely touch 60 for action sequences. So straight away he's now using the MG, just in the cone of fire, picking on these rifles who were going to go for the cutoff, but the Grenadiers intercept them. Jove has gone for 3 Grenadiers and an MG, which is pretty heavy tier 1. It's probably about as heavy as you can go without it being called a heavy tier 1, to be honest. And of course ASSBAG primarily is grounded within rifles. He is a very infantry-centric player. Grenades nor anything else chosen yet. In terms of doctrines, if you're wondering whether you can turn that into rear echelon into a flamethrower, he doesn't have rifle company. He has mechanized armor and airborne. So an interesting array there. He's obviously got airborne, which is pretty okay in late game thanks to the P47s. Got mechanized, which probably isn't recommended, and armor, which is great for the M10's crushability and such. Pioneers pushing, trying to get out of the castle that Jove has made for himself, because he's pretty much focused in the centre of the map, and the Americans done a lot of the capping and managed to get this fuel here, in fact, and he's just thwarting a Pioneer who was going to push and try and decap that point. Ooh, the new elite troops has been chosen. I'm interested to see if... God, the commander is really going on and on about all the abilities. I don't know if you could hear that. It was loud in my ear. It won't be loud in yours, thankfully. The Stormtroopers, after the most recent changelog, I think get... Is it a Jaeger package? It's going to be interesting how they perform, because they have classically underperformed. They add variety, if nothing else, into the game. You know, they're okay for cloaked SGG pushes, but that's about it. You have to use that ability. They have... God, I'll be able to tell you better when they come into the game and I can read the tooltips, because that's how I operate. In base, he's got the medic bunker up. The American player has gone for the lieutenant, or the lieutenant if you're an American, so that'll give him obviously an M20 shortly. This is a very good M20 map. It is Semois after all, even if it is Samoski Winter, if you want to call it that. Which classically has always been a very good light vehicle map, because all the shot blockers, sight blockers, what have you. Grenadiers are going to have to retreat. In fact, I'd recommend to Jove, even though he's one of the best players in the game, that he retreats right about now, because you don't want to lose models there. Was that a rifle nade? It was something. We'll figure out what that was. It could have been a stun grenade, you see. Rifles pushing here. They have taken the cutoff. That is denying territory sectors at the moment. MG's got the church. It's a dominant position for the MG. It's not a bad map for it, but... You know, with the fog of war, you can see just how little he can see. Another stun grenade, so it is indeed stun grenades he's using. That's shown there, the model for 24. Let's take fog of war off. Heavy truck implies the ambulance is now on the field. Which indeed it has, and it's got camouflage, so it's a stealth ambulance. The best kind. MG's cutting the lieutenant up, stopping him from getting that bar into action. Further south, you've got this Grenadier controlling the fuel, if not doing anything else. You will notice that the blue sector does cut it off currently. You do need this territory sector right here to get that point. Let's just... I want to verify that, actually. Is it blinking? Yes, it is blinking. Company Heroes 1 did the TAC map a lot better, in my opinion. You wouldn't even have to strain your eyes to realise that was blinking in Company Heroes 1. Company Heroes 2, in my opinion, the TAC map still lags behind it. Its utility is better. It's always been better. You can do a lot more with the TAC map in Code 2. But just go back. If you're a Code 2 player solely, just look at Code 1's TAC map. It was really nice to look at. And that is from somebody that likes both games equally. 2-2-2 on the field. Another stun grenade goes in. They're really good against garrison troops. They do a lot of health damage, if not model kills. So Jove's finally got his fuel connected now. You will note that after the 2-2-2 in Tier 2, he only has 8 fuel. He is, of course, Tiger Ace Doctrine, or Elite Troops. It's sometimes called. Here comes the 2-2-2, probably ice skating around. God, it's nice to have strategic zoom cast back. I love these wide panning angles. Even if for now it's not that useful, it's better for late game. But I did a tournament this weekend, and I really missed it, to be honest. Would have been nice to have utilised it. It's too much effort for a tournament, because you have to do a little bit of work for each individual replay you receive to get it to work. Oh God, the AA half-track's coming out for the Americans. That'll be a good shock unit. Not gone for the M20, he has saved his pennies for the AA. It's going to be interesting. Stormtroopers now coming out. Wonder what he's going to do with them. He has got this rifle in a bit of peril. It's going to have to retreat through the Stormtroopers and not the MG5 because it won't have time to rewrite itself. Or redirect itself, rather. Grenadiers here got a rifle nade in, seemingly. That could have... No rifle nade, just model kills, because obviously it hasn't got a cooldown. I saw a bit of an explosion. I don't know what that was. Maybe the rifles just exploded upon retreat, who knows. Here we go, finally the Grenadiers are able to harass this fuel properly. Mostly because you'll notice there's 2 rifles in base. So he's gone for heavy infantry builders, ASSBAG. He's very good at microing all these units. And here comes the Beyonce machine. Back that ass up. Rear Echelon's pretty much been the kingpin for ASSBAG's unit, allowing him to stay on the battlefield currently. Or keep a stake in the centre, rather, is what I meant. He still has... No, if it let me select him. No, it won't let me select him. Oh God, I hate when the bloody UI does that. You gonna let me select him, bro? No. It bugs out. I'd love to know why that bugs out. So here he comes. He's not Beyonceing it. You have to back that ass up to use it properly. Takes a rear shot for its troubles and doesn't actually do any action there. Be great if it backed its self into the Stormtroopers because they're quite low health. They get pushed away. Grenadiers in a mighty conquest against the packs coming out. So the Beyonce machine is going to have a limited window of absolutely unopposed opportunity. But there we go. Fantastic from the rifleman. And fantastic from the AA half-track. I wonder who got the kill there. Vehicles destroyed. AA half-track 1. 2-2-2 disintegrated in the presence. Another stun grenade there. Model 42 is being used to great effect. Pioneers just being a vantage point seemingly, trying to keep that fuel in their control. And they have got it, so they have got now up to 80 fuel for Jove, so he'll be able to advance from there shortly. Let me go back to base for this crap. That's the captains coming out. In terms of the actual... base, he didn't actually get any upgrades. That's what I wanted to see, but the UI wouldn't let me. Rifle nearly goes down whilst I'm dithering around looking for grenades and such. Here comes the Beyonce machine. Not going to overuse that terminology at all, am I? Where's the pack in all this? Is it getting close? No, it's trying to reroute. Not going to get there in time. Or reroute, if you're an American. Pioneer finally getting the southern victory point in terms of victory points overall. You'll notice that our dear friend ASSBAG has taken a little bit of a dip. That'll be mostly because the Wehrmacht kept its middle VP for so long. Oh God, he's going to have to get out of there. MG42s are surprisingly good against buildings. Or garrison troops in them, rather. Now, we've got Panzer Grenadiers, so you can have 2 levels of elite infantry. That probably matches the fact that... dear ASSBAG's taking a pack! That's good, and there's only an MG42 watching over, so he will be able to get out of there. Shame, but there's no lack of it. There's no infantry. It's massively far behind there. There's the pack. There's the infantry. Lagging. Not going to be able to get that. And the AA half-track's repositioning in time. There you go, there's the Jaeger package, so that confirms what I was talking about earlier. Elsewhere, he's now capping the south, pushing the Pioneers away and taking the fuel, so he's going to keep his fuel superiority for now. It'll be interesting to see how he takes advantage of it overall, of course. He has gone for captain and lieutenant, so his mage is going to be delayed, despite his fuel superiority. Captain's going to try and thwart the advance of the Grenadiers. That's the British Grenadiers theme. These are obviously Germans. Alright, so he's got the lieutenant in the church, he's got a captain behind heavy cover, but the STGs are going to push that away, so he's on borrowed time with regards to this push. He can't keep the Germans at bay unless the AA half-track comes into the picture, in which it does in due course. Going to open up its first salvo very shortly. It does meet a green cover wall though, does get a bit of suppression off on the Panzer Grenadiers. Where is the pack in all this? Oh, the pack got stolen, of course. The pack is now back in base getting some heals. The Germans are going to have to rebuild their pack, so Grand Pack Auto. Well, that disregards the word theft, so it's definitely Grand Theft Paco. No, I'll just disregard that. Pretend I didn't try and say anything there. That was just a dead air time whilst I looked around the map now. There, half-track knows it's uncountered. Well, it was uncountered until the AT gun came onto the field. Got some nice veterancy rolling in for the riflemen, and some very good veterancy for the Grenadiers. You'll notice there veterancy 3 with 11 kills. No upgrades yet. I'd recommend he gets an upgrade for them. They do get an array of accuracy bonuses. MG42 picking up a pip of veterancy. It's been a great tool for Jove. Probably kept him in this whilst the AA half-track was having that window of utter dominance. You'll notice it just activated the... Did it? Let me select that unit, please. Yeah, fire incendiary armour piercing rounds. So that'll be why the A half-track's currently rocking only 60% health. Shame that the Stern Pioneers had no option against it. Well, they get the kill anyway. Are you kidding me? That must have been... That was entirely... Look at these guys. They've got a vehicle destroyed. That was entirely with fire incendiary armour piercing rounds. Dear God, that was impressive from the MG42 man. And now they're suppressing this rifle. They're doing it for fun. They've got 3 pips of veterancy, having destroyed a light vehicle there. Well, a powerful light vehicle, rather. Here comes the Stuart, though, so that's from the captain's tier. Or the Jesulin Mobile, as I call it, having seen the Jesulin use them to great prowess in several high-profile games. I honestly can't believe that the incendiary round shredded that AA half-track. I didn't even realise what was happening until it was too late, and neither did ASSBAG. Further south, rear echelons, mighty rear echelons, thwarting an LMG, a vanilla Vet 3 Gren, and STG squad Panzer Grenadiers, but they're all going to die for their troubles. Heroic rear echelon men. The commander didn't even bother to retreat them. They died for their sins. Operation Human Shield for South Park the movie fans. And if you know about the game files, the voice files before they removed them, you'll know exactly what I mean there. I'm referring to the inherent racism of the American army in World War II, and the fact that the rear echelons originally had black accents as their game files. It was really cool, actually. I really liked that touch. It did hint at the sinister racism inherent in the American army at the time, which is not very pleasant, but it was also, you know, true and historically authentic, so there's that as well. You know, a lot of black men, not men, black men fight and died in the Second World War for the Americans and also for the British Empire, and they're not represented in this game. Possibly could have had black riflemen though instead of black rear echelons. That probably would have been a better way of implementing that. Further south, the Stuart has now come up against a pack, and it just got Fausted, so we could have another light vehicle dying for ASSBAG. So it doesn't matter that he stole that pack when You've got his light vehicles being absolutely countered left, right and centre. Let's turn on Fog of War, because Strategic Zoomcast does show a little bit too much line of sight at times. And one more shot, there you go, out of control. Elsewhere. We've got Pioneers upgraded with the Flammenwerfer. God, the barred up rifleman, so he spent money on bars, now what, money fuel. Still got 90 in the bag though, that just shows you just how much fuel control he's had, which has been great for ASSBAG. He's managed to lose 2 vehicles, but he's still got it. And he's also got this pack howitzer, which is struggling to get out of the pizza. Not the greatest situation ever. Oh god, Veterancy 3! MG42 does not want to die! Needs to keep those pips of Veterancy rolling in. And I am freezing to death. Let me turn my heater on. Thought the energy of casting would keep me alive, but apparently I do need fuel and heating and stuff. Thought Relic had patched that, but apparently not. Real life does require campfires still. Elsewhere, MG42s that very gallantly survived. What vet does Stern Pioneers get? First aid, pretty boring. Advanced rifle training and combat expertise, survivability. Same as Grenadiers, pretty boring. The Wehrmacht veterancy is not very interesting in general, really. OKW is a little bit better, I guess. A pitched engagement garrison battle there. Pakawi opens up finally on the field with a great shot against that church. Seemingly firing forever. One volley after another. Nearly destroying the church. Is only on about 28% health. To be honest, I like to think that I'm very accurate, dear God, when I approximate my percentages. Dear God, that was very destruction-y. I'm still sticking on 30 FPS, I'm quite happy with that, that'll do. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. We now have Heavy Panzer Corps up, allowing him to get such great utilities as the Brumbar, Panther, and of course the thrower of Panzers, the Panzerwerfer. Seems like we've got a double team action on the Vet 3. Vanilla Gren still, no upgrades. He has been a bit munition starved though, it must be said. Here's the LMG Gren that now has 2 pips of veterancy all but of its own accord. Storm troopers opening up there. Pack howitzer doing great work against that Grenadier. Hardly any health remaining. Wonder what we're going to get from the Heavy Panzer Corps. He has 129 fuel. He's got the Tiger Ace doctrine. So I'm not sure why he went for that really, considering he had the Tiger Ace doctrine. Surely wouldn't it have been better to have some medium armour out, like a Panzer IV? Or not a Stug, he doesn't need one. You'll also notice Jove is now building a sniper. So you're going to be picking away at these heavily veteraned bar riflemen in short time. He's going to have to be careful with it though, because bars can absolutely eviscerate the sniper regardless of this summer's health buffs. Armour company has been chosen. The Bulldozer Sherman enters the field with no kills on its first foray. So instead of using M10s at first, he went straight for the Bulldozer. That'll be probably because he spent his money on the Stuart and such, and the AA half tracks, and doesn't come cheap when added up. He has delayed the fact that he could have had an M10 a little bit sooner. Instead he had fuel just in time for the pips for the Bulldozer, which will work very well in symbiosis with the pack, especially if it starts actually killing people. It's only got 1 kill so far. The newly rebuilt pack, well, the second pack built rather, for Jove opens up. Elsewhere, you've got the 50 cal opening up on the Stormtroopers. Could be seeing a tasty rifle nade. Oh no, they instead go for the stun grenade. They love those stun grenades, I tell you. Absolutely love them. He's repairing the Bulldozer. He's got the pack howitzer firing in support. You can see both thanks to Strategic Zoomcast. Explosion. Now then, what do we have coming out of the 4th tier? He's got enough for a Brumbar, or a Brumbar, I don't know how to say it in the German accent, but Brumbar. Still got his awesome Veteran C3 AA half-track killing MG42. Bulldozer Sherman's going to see to that. This thing can absolutely demolish houses. Board rifles getting attacked by the Sturmgewehr. Ooh, nice shot. That's what I was talking about. Thankfully, they retreated without any health damage there, so pretty lucky. And here we go. We got the Panther, the Panzer V building. Oh, there you go. You probably should have hard retreated that, Jove, in all fairness, mate. Don't want to stick around against the bulldozer. Okay, absolutely. They remind me heavily of the Stu-42, to be honest, in how they fire. Obviously, it's got a turret, so it's a lot better mobility in its firing as a firing platform. Now then, ASSBAG is going to have his bulldozer very shortly pushed heavily away by a Panther. Be interesting to see if he can keep it alive. Where's the pack? Pack and all this is in a defensive position, so he could retreat to there. It's oh, nice shot in from the pack, the German pack that is. You don't usually have to differentiate between which side's pack it is that was firing. In this case, you do. Right, here comes the Panther. Not saving for a pintle mount. He can just afford to keep upgrading all of his infantry. He's got no late game heavy abilities here. Panther's hauling ass to get into this picture. Looks like the Jove's also laying a Talamine in a nice position if the bulldozer were to go over. Oh god, get your Vet 3 engineers away. And here we go, the retreat, the reversing tank shenanigans. Players aren't used to this yet. They have to get used to Relic's new mode of reversal. Or reversing, rather. Doesn't quite get line of sight on that. That'll be exemplified in 1 second. Oh, hang on. Can I click? Yes, I can. There it was. That was the line of sight. And the Panther's getting brutalised by this pack. Get your ass to Mars, Quaid. That was gay. I shouldn't have said that. Grenadier's got 16 kills. Not bad. Elsewhere. 13 kills on the other, 10 kills on this one. In the American army, 8, 10, 2. He has lost a rifle, seemingly. Can't quite picture when that was. I'm sure I recorded it happening, but not that I can remember right now. MG42 opening up against the left lieutenant, pushing that thing out of there. And you'll notice Jove has now really started to exert his will upon the centre. He's got his Veteran C units, he's got his Panther to push away the bulldozer. M10 Wolverine tank destroyers on now. He's got a pack and a Wolverine, so he could actually do a lot of damage to the Panther. Probably doesn't want to do that quite yet, though, with the infantry prowess of Jove. He does have a lot in base, though, actually, right now. Oh god, the Stormtroopers took a bit of a hit against the pack, Howie. And probably the bazooka captain as well. Now then, this is a nice time for a bit of strategic zooming out action. Look at that. You can see pretty much everything going on the screen right now as we speak. 2 engagements at once, baby. That's the dream. Oh! Not the greatest shot by the bulldozer. If it was been a yard to the left, it could have been a squad wipe. Okay, the pack is now in position. Will the bulldozer manage to get a few kills? Where is the Panther in all this? The Panther is attacking infantry in the south. That's not where you want to be. The bulldozer did have a good opportunity to wreak some havoc there, not quite managing to exert its will upon the opponents. Ooh. We've got the mortar coming on for Wehrmacht. Trying to work out what's coming on. Another 50 cal. Okay, 2 50 cals. That'll be interesting. That'll help him win the VP war at least. Panther trying to use its pintle mount to great effect, but they are in heavy cover. There you go, the M10 showing its inability to penetrate the Panther's glacis armour. The pack won't have any such difficulty though, and the bazooka gets a penetration. Nice. Here we go, is the pack within its arc of fire? No, it's going to have to reposition. The Panther, meanwhile, will show its excellent manoeuvrability and get the hell out of there. And this is ASSBAG getting ready for something And that's something was probably a giant push on the Panther, I'd imagine, because it's a large investment for Jove. And the fact that he lost that pack will mean that he can exert some pressure on it. Elsewhere in the north, you've got the Veterancy 3 MG42 putting a lot of fire down on the riflemen, but the lieutenant flank it. Great flank using the house. There's 2 entrances there. Panzerwerfer! Werfing some Panthers coming at you. March of the Veteran Elite Infantry coming into view right now. M10 could go for a squishy crush on them. I don't know what other kinds of crush you get with tanks, but squishy crushes is definitely one of them. Panzerwerfer probably getting ready for its first salvo. As soon as he sees the mass support weapons there, I'd probably recommend he'd go for that as soon as he sees it. Needs something to get line of sight. Could the Panther be that thing? Stormtroopers, get some fire in there. Again, this bulldozer hasn't even paid for itself. 7 kills only. It's been on the field for a good 10 minutes now around. Probably a bit less, but a good chunk of time. A lot of veterancy on his bars. He's got 3 veterancy 2 barred riflemen, so not a bad army to have at this stage in the game. A little bit of veterancy 3 coming in, but they did change the experience requirements for that unit. Dear God, here comes the Panzerwerfer. He's noted the damage. He takes out a 50 cal in the house. He gets rid of the pack howitzer. Sorry, the 50 cal was just south of the house. It was not in the house. It did get, however, decrewed regardless. Great shot from the Panzerwerfer there. You'll note has 4 kills, but each one of those 4 kills was a good kill. Tiger Ace is available in terms of command points, but it is a large amount of manpower away. You'd have to save and probably relinquish a large area of the map in order to save for that amount of manpower. Veterancy 3 battle here. We've got the LMG versus the moving bar. Who will win? Let's get a bit of a zoom in on that. Nice grenade, he's going to have to get out of there, and he does indeed get out of there. Great reaction times, especially considering it's a peripheral engagement. Mind you, there wasn't that much going on in the centre at the time. So he's repairing his bulldozer, the bulldozer without the kills. The M10 has no kills, but I suppose it's just a deterrent, or, you know, it's going to be a large portion of a push in the near future, I imagine. It's going to have a role to play in this game for sure at some point. Especially now that there's a second M10 on the field. There is indeed, yep, 2 M10s. A pack, which does need to go and get some heals. Just dipping below at 30 FPS now, but it's not bad, it's steady. It's not juddering everywhere like it may have done in the past on one of these casts, I've noticed. Oh dear God, here we go. 240mm howitzer barrage. Which was, at one point in this game, the most powerful ability in Company Heroes history, when it was in beta. Probably shouldn't mention that, actually, probably NDA. But it was ridiculous at one point, before the WFA got released. Honestly, it was the most powerful thing. It was like a V1 rocket from Company Heroes 1, but 20 of them, continuously. He's getting some scouting done with his M10, I don't know what he's going for there. Oh, he's going for the Panzerwerfer, no doubt. Ooh, this is juicy. We'll get that on the left of your screen, try and capture a bit of the right. He does think better of it. Let's keep him off the battlefield right now. But this is going to allow Jove to save... Oh God, what's he doing, the Panther? Is it finished now, the ability? That would have been bad if he'd accidentally got the Panther in the way of that. M10 is has done a little bit of scouting, I guess. Tried to see where his Panzerwerfer was. Try and catch it with his knickers down. It is itself preparing for another barrage now. Probably against the bridgehead, I'd imagine. Panther trying to find some of ASSBAG's medium armour. I'm expecting a big barrage from this unit right now, Panzerwerfer. Ooh, the lieutenant nearly gets wiped. The mortar, up to 3 kills, not that great, I guess. A pack howitzer all this while. It's but he got decrewed, didn't it? Of course. So Jove is preparing himself. He's keeping his Panzerwerfer barrage ready for when he needs it most. M10 got Panzer Fausted, then the unit jumped inside the building, or it's possibly the other. Another shot in on M10 there. They are not able to penetrate the Glacis armour of the Panther. It is some of the best armour in the game. Pack opens up against the Bulldozer Sherman. And the Panther took a right beating there. It's down to 40% health. Bazooka gets another penetration on the frontal armour. Oh god, the Pack got a shot in, another shot in against the Bulldozer Sherman. That's down. Pack howitzer in the centre, diminishing the Grenadiers' ability to be alive, i.e. killing squad mates. Stormtroopers having a pitched engagement against Veterancy 2 bar riflemen there. And the Pack, I cannot believe that this did not open up again. It must have done. It's 6 kills, but I just didn't see it. So, wounds are being licked. ASSBAG has more than enough fuel to start paying for the 90 fuel M10 replacements. Oh, nice! He got a kill off on the repairing crew, and that's enough to make him GG. That was a disappointing game. Ugh. It was still upload worthy though. I'm going to upload the crap out of that because I always like the discussion post-game in the comments as to why the hell one of the players GG'd. Let's go over what could have happened there. So he just had his Pack howitzer and vehicle crew, veterancy vehicle crew, that were repairing. Then you can imagine, can't you? The German Pack would have gotten into position because he wouldn't have had anything to crew it. Well, he did have these squads coming in, he could have gotten it back, but he just... No. He didn't! He put his own 240mm howitzer barrage on there! Look! There's the smoke, there's the ability, he just pressed it, he just fucking barraged himself into defeat! Silly ASSBAG! What have you done? Oh, that is stupid. Let's get him in Steam, see if he's available. Hang on. Oh, it says away. I hope he's available. This will be funny. Quickly. So I'll keep this running just for a second. Oh, but that is humorous. Let's go over some of the stats in the screen because it was a high-level battle. So I will put an annotation on. If he isn't in Steam right now, I'll ask him after, and I'll put an annotation up to see if it was a true accidental 240mm howitzer barrage. So it was a quick 32-minute win for Jove there, but his opponent was doing really well, I felt. Obviously, you always had the Tiger Race to come. He probably wouldn't have been able to deal with that. I don't know. I mean, what did the American have? He still had his Pack if it had survived the howitzer barrage, that is. But let's pretend that wasn't going to happen. This M10 was going to get out of there because it's only Faust. He probably could have retreated even if the Pack was dawning on him. Elsewhere, oh yeah, that rifle could have died to a mortar shot even, but it wasn't going to happen. ASSBAG is away in Steam, so he's not going to be able to tell me right now. But thank you for watching. That was the 12th episode of Strategic Zoomcast. And I hope you watch the 13th episode as well, because I will be bringing it to you. Might even be this weekend. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.